Most people who go broke weren't broke to begin with. They had the money. They made it, touched it, felt it, and then, quietly, it left. Not because of one bad decision, not because the market crashed or the business failed. It left because of something they were doing every single day that felt completely normal, felt responsible even. And here's what nobody tells you. Building wealth is actually the easier part. Keeping it, that's where most people fall apart. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what separates the people who stay wealthy from the ones who peak and collapse. And I promise you, at least two of these habits are going to make you uncomfortable, because you're probably already doing the opposite. But before we get to the one habit that destroys more wealth than anything else, and I mean anything, more than bad investments, more than debt, I need to tell you something first. Wealthy people are boring, not in personality, in behavior. You've seen the YouTube thumbnails. The Lamborghinis, the watches, the "I made $4 million in 18 months" timelines. That's not wealth. That's performance. Real wealth, the kind that lasts across decades and doesn't disappear when a market sneezes, looks nothing like that. It looks like a guy who drives a 10-year-old car and hasn't touched his investment account in 3 years. It looks like your neighbor who works the same job for 20 years and somehow retires at 58 with everything paid off. The habits that keep people wealthy are almost insultingly simple. But simple is not the same as easy. The first habit is something that goes against everything the culture is telling you right now. People who stay wealthy are obsessed with the cost of looking wealthy. Not in the way you think. They're not cheap. They're precise. They've done the math on what image actually costs them, and the number is terrifying. Think about someone you know, maybe it's a cousin, a coworker, someone in your friend group. They got promoted, income went up, and within 6 months, new car, new apartment, new wardrobe. Income up 40%, lifestyle up 60. That gap is called lifestyle inflation, and it is the silent tax that most high earners never see coming. The income grows, the wealth doesn't, and they can't figure out why. People who stay wealthy treat income increases as invisible. They act like the raise didn't happen. They let the money accumulate somewhere boring, an index fund, a brokerage account, while they live on what they were living on before. This is not deprivation. This is asymmetric compounding. A $500 monthly difference invested consistently over 20 years doesn't become $120,000. It becomes something closer to $340,000. The math on restraint is extraordinary. The second habit is one that wealthy people almost never talk about in public because it sounds cold. They are ruthlessly selective about financial relationships. Your financial life is not just your own. It's shared with every person you feel obligated to. The friend who always needs a loan that becomes a gift. The family member whose emergency is always your emergency. The social circle where keeping up is the price of belonging. Thomas Stanley spent years researching millionaire households, ordinary people with extraordinary balance sheets. And one of the consistent patterns was this. Long-term wealthy people have clear, almost uncomfortable boundaries around money and other people. Not because they're selfish, because they understand that financial generosity without structure is financial erosion with a kind face. This doesn't mean not helping people. It means helping in ways that don't require you to quietly rebuild yourself every time someone else's life falls apart. The wealthiest people you'll ever meet have figured out exactly how much they can give and still stay whole. That number is specific, it's not emotional, and they hold it. The third habit is about what wealthy people do when nothing seems to be happening. Here's a reframe that might change how you think about money entirely. The most powerful financial moves are the ones you don't make. Staying, holding, not reacting. In a world designed to make you feel like you're always one decision away from either breakthrough or catastrophe, the discipline of doing nothing is worth more than almost any strategy you can name. A financial behavior researcher named Brad Klontz found that the investors who perform best over a 10-year period are often the ones who barely look at their portfolios. Not because ignorance is smart, but because checking creates action, and action kills compounding. Every time you sell, switch, or rebalance out of anxiety, you're paying a tax on your own emotions. Wealthy people have learned to treat volatility like weather. You don't panic because it's raining. You don't sell your house because January was cold. If you're finding this useful, drop a comment below. Tell me which of these habits you're already practicing and which one just made your stomach drop. The fourth habit is the one nobody wants to hear. People who stay wealthy spend money on financial knowledge and advice the way other people spend money on entertainment. Consistently, without resentment, and before they think they need it. The average person calls a financial advisor when something has already gone wrong. The wealthy person has a relationship that's maintained, an accountant who knows their full picture, a fee-only planner who reviews things annually, maybe a tax strategist who finds money in places they didn't know they were losing it. This isn't a luxury. The average American loses somewhere between $1,500 and $3,000 per year in preventable tax inefficiency alone. That's not a rich person problem. That's a knowledge problem wearing a tax form. The people who stay wealthy understand that money is a skill, and skills require maintenance. You don't stop going to the gym the moment you get in shape. You don't cancel your car insurance the moment you're a good driver. The maintenance is the strategy. Now here's the habit that I promised would be uncomfortable, and this is the one that wrecks more wealth than any other single thing. Wealthy people have a completely different relationship with certainty. They've accepted, genuinely accepted, not just intellectually acknowledged, that they will make bad financial decisions, that some investments will fail, that some bets won't pay off, that the future is not predictable no matter how much research you do or how many experts you consult. This sounds obvious until you watch what people actually do. They put 60% of their net worth into a single asset because they're sure. They take out a second mortgage for a business because the numbers definitely work. They time the market because this time feels different. The research on financial ruin across wealth levels consistently points to the same architecture: overconfidence, concentrated risk, and the feeling that certainty is available if you just know enough. People who stay wealthy diversify not because they think something bad will happen, but because they know they don't know. That intellectual humility is not a personality trait. It's a learned discipline, and it is worth more than any single financial product ever sold. The last habit is the one that ties all of this together, and it is the simplest thing in this entire video. People who stay wealthy check in with their money the same way healthy people check in with their body. Not obsessively, not anxiously, but regularly, intentionally, and with a clear picture of where everything stands. A monthly net worth review, an annual audit of recurring expenses, a once-a-year look at insurance, beneficiaries, emergency funds, the unsexy infrastructure of a financial life that actually works. The people who stay wealthy have removed the fear from the looking, because they've built systems that mean there's rarely anything catastrophic to find. Wealth isn't a destination that stays still once you arrive. It's a living thing. And like anything alive, it requires attention. Here's what you now know that most people around you don't. Staying wealthy is not about making more. It's not about finding the perfect investment or timing the perfect move. It's about 10,000 small decisions made in the same boring direction, over and over until the direction itself becomes who you are. The people who lose wealth aren't unlucky. They just never built the habits that keep it. And the people who hold it for life? Most of them started exactly where you are now, just deciding to do things a little differently. If this hit different, subscribe. There's a lot more of this coming.